So I want to give a. I just want to give a quick opinion about another thing, basically that stops a relationship from ultimately being successful. And this is a major key point. The thing I feel like people should stop doing is getting third parties involved. Like the point of, and that kind of lets you know people's intentions too when they with you. The point of even getting with one person or being in a relationship with somebody is to practically be with that person, to put in practice of confiding in that person. It's like no one else in the world can actually give you the therapy you need or the healing or the counseling you need besides this person. So the fact that you go through something and you're getting your friends involved or your parents or you calling the cops or whatever you do that's outside that relationship, that's why it ultimately destroys. And the interesting thing about that is that you may think that it's affecting the other person, or you feel like it's making you leave a situation that's toxic, but what it's actually doing is only hurting you, because now the people that you confided in, that you went and ran to, they actually have the control over your life, and you're not even aware of it. They have a control over your emotional space. And literally 10 times out of 10, most of the people you run into to complain about your relationship, one, don't care, and two, they intrigued by it because now they know your weaknesses and they can use that against you. And actually, they'll start playing a part perfectly to make you even more weaker and vulnerable, so then you could reveal more about yourself. And then that gives them the upper hand on how they should manipulate you. So don't do that, honestly. That's just simple as I can say. Like, don't run off to someone. If you with somebody and it's two of y'all, confide in each other. If that's the case, then you shouldn't be with that person. If you feel like you gotta run to your best friend, your mother, or get anybody involved, and you feel like y'all going through an issue, if y'all can't get through it yourself, excuse me, then y'all don't really need to be together. And if you are with a person that you feel like you can't confide in, that means you actually the one, excuse me, that really has a weakness, and you actually the one that needs the treatment, because they're already just revealing things about yourself. So it's basically you don't even really care about that person. That person is just more so a form of an escape for you. You don't even really care about how what you doing is affecting that person. You're not even using the power of consideration to even consider how that person is feeling from what you're doing. You just automatically just practicing disloyalty and going outside of whatever y'all had and sharing it with someone else. But then you expecting that person to give you their all or to fully trust in you. And you expect to not have these issues come up again, but then they keep coming up again because you'll break down that relationship. Maybe that day, that week, that month, but then you'll let that person back in to try to give it another chance. But you're really not giving it another chance. And the reason why the chance won't even get a chance to even express itself, because it's already people outside of the relationship you confiding in that has control over that relationship, and literally your relationship is in their hand. So if they decide that they don't want you to be happy, then they're going to have the power to do it. So they could easily either put something in your mind or in the other person's mind. And then most of the times the people you confide in is not on your side. They actually more so on the other side. And that's why you have a lot of people that get cheated on with best friends or by family members or close associates. And you're like, I told this person everything. This is the person I was confiding in. Yeah, they wanted you to do that. You fell into the trap because you didn't confide in your mate. You didn't protect your mate. When you get into a relationship with somebody, it's not just I'm with somebody. It's not a social thing that you're doing to try to fit in. You have to have real reason why you get in a relation with this person. You have to actually protect what's yours. You can't just be putting that person out there and letting everybody know that person weaknesses when that's something that that person shared with you. And that makes you even weaker. And then people are gonna feed off that because people hate to see other people happy. So they're gonna feed off it and they're gonna drown you in sorrow and add to it and tell you how much he wasn't a good person or how much she wasn't a good person, what they did and they wasn't the right ones. They're gonna feed you that. But in the back of their mind, they like, she's stupid. You could have worked that out. That was something easy. Because they already know. They got the answer you're looking for. They just not going to tell you it. So you got to be very careful how or who you confide in. If you're in a relationship with somebody, you supposed to. That's like the rule of a relationship. You're supposed to confide in the person you with. You're not supposed to ever go outside of that. And that's why you have just so many unhappy people, so much disloyalty, and so much people that's loyal to disloyalty. Like it's people who know they being done wrong and still loyal to that, not even finding a way to break through that. And they just comfortable with living that story every day. They have this inner dialogue with themselves, this inner self-image where they just okay with living this story. They're loyal to this story of not having true self-worth or not really being able to feel good enough to go on and push through and create a breakthrough for themselves to live a better and greater life. They're loyal to misery and they're not looking for a way out. And then even if they do find a way out, they'll be so beat down from that relationship that they will actually run into the right person, and then they'll treat the right person as if the right person is actually attacking them. And then lose that person and then end up with a person that really is gonna attack them, but in their mind they're like, no, this is the right one. And then wind up getting broken down again. And then the whole cycle repeats itself. Then they gotta spend time trying to heal because they're under this delusion they hurt. They gotta recover and all this stuff. And then in the process of their recovery, they'll run into the right one again. And then they'll do the same exact thing again, attack the right one. And then the opposite one will come into their life and they'll feel, oh, this is the right one. Because people are loyal to that misery. They're loyal to the story. So even though they may not physically could see the story anymore, they're still telling it inside their mind. They're still reading out that book. So the right person is always going to seem like the person that's always attacking your emotions. It's always going to seem like the person that's just challenging you, making you feel so comfortable, because that's what the right one does. The right one breaks you out of all your old habits and traditions. It breaks you out of your brainwash. And then they'll go and destroy the right one, attack the right one, and then meet another one, the opposite one, and pull it all back into the same situation, just in a different body, and get hurt all over again. And then they get hurt to a point where now it may be 10, 20, 30 years from now, and it's like, damn, I'm 67 years old, and I still haven't found somebody that fits me. And then before you know it, you're dead without even finding true life. Like all you knew was misery and abuse and disloyalty. That's all you knew. That's because you confided in so many other things in the world except the person in front of you. You didn't even confide in yourself. And now you missed the true experience. And maybe probably the only experience of life is actually connecting with another human being. So it's very important that you find, I'm not going to say just someone or anyone or the right one, because the right one or someone, anyone could be anything or anyone. Just find a person, a human being. Don't look at them for their name or their identity or personality or their style or swagger. Look at them as a human being. Just look at them as just with eyes and hands and feet and ears and toes. Just look at them as that and nothing else. Look at them as a real human and confide in them and build with that person. Because if you want somebody to accept and embrace you and be loyal to you, you have to be practical with your desires. Your desires are not opposite from practice. Like, you can't say, oh, I desire something, and just thinking that you're gonna get it because you want it or desire it. No. Or working towards it. It has to be practice. Like, this can't be nothing you work towards. It can't be nothing you want. This gotta be your actual living. Like, you have to live like this. Like what you want. You have to live like your desires. You can't just work towards it and set it as a goal. Like, all right. And then once you achieve it, it's like, all right, it's over. Now I go and do something else. Like, no, this got to be your life. So if you desire to have a special person in your life, live like a special person. Don't just want a special person, work towards a special person, live like a special person. And when you get that special person, treat them like a special person for the rest of your special life. And then you'll actually find out the real meaning behind a relationship. You'll find out like what it really meant all this time. It's so simple, so simple. So that's what I wanted to come on here today and express. So just in my opinion, stop confiding. I know you're looking for escape. I know it hurts. I know you got trust issues. I know you're insecure. I know you doubt. I know you don't feel good enough. I know you feel ugly inside. I know you think everybody's against you. I know you feel like a victim. But just confide. Just focus on that word. Just confide. Confide into the person that's right in front of you. And that's the most beautiful thing you could do. That might be your actual phase and start to being whole again. I'm done.